Hey Facebook, good evening, good evening, good evening to you. I'm so excited to be here doing this live. I can't even begin to tell you what this means. I can't begin to tell you how this is. I can't begin to explain this in words exactly how this interview actually makes me feel. Now, for those of us who know me very well, you know that hi Tony, you know that I'm just very, very passionate about my clients. I'm very passionate about the people that I serve as a coach. And I serve them from a place that is deeper than just, superficial. I serve them from a deep place of really caring about who they are as people, and I serve them from a place of concerned about their well-being, and I serve them from a place that's deeper down inside of me than just for their money. And so tonight, I'm so excited that I'm going to be having a groundbreaking chat with a client who, when she actually agreed to do this interview, I must tell you, I was floored. And a few weeks ago, she literally made me cry, and I never had imagined that in such a short space of time, the impact that I had on her was so immense. And so I'm really hoping that Rose is on the call. I'm waiting for her to come. I'm going to try and invite her to the conversation. And I'm going to add her to the conversation right now, which is just so flawless. And I'm that we're able to connect with her. When I work with clients and when I work with anybody, I work with them from my core. I work with them from a deep place within who I work with them from a place of as if they were me. And I'm just sharing this on some other place. Audrey, could you share this live out for me? I'm Chardonnay. I'm so glad that you're on this live. Valerie, so glad you're on this live. I feel like my old tribe is just back together, but virtually. And when I serve people, I serve. Hi, Charlotte. How you doing? Oh, Charlotte was my student in high school. Isn't this a nice get together? When I serve from a deep place. I serve from feeling as though I'm serving myself. And I pride myself in that. I am unapologetic about that. I'm non-negotiable when it comes to that. And so tonight I really am I'm nervous about this interview, and I normally don't get nervous about interview because this is going to hit me at my core. And because it's going to hit me so deep, I know that I'm probably going to cry, and I'm trying not to cry. But guys, without further ado, for those of us who don't know me, my name is Ava Eagle Brown. I'm the author of the amazing book, The Mango Girl, Becoming a Film. I'm a coach. I am a life coach. I'm a business coach. a book coach. I'm a mother. I'm a friend. I'm a sister. I'm the kind of coach that will pick up my phone and call you even when you're not paying me. And I can say that proudly because that's who I be, not am, who I be in the world. And so tonight I'm going to be talking to Rose. I want you to share this interview to as many people on your page as you can. I normally don't ask you to do that, but this is going to change somebody's life. Invite some people. This is going to touch somebody at their core. A woman who is in a dark place needs to hear this. And so without any further ado, I'm going to introduce her in a way that she doesn't even introduce herself because I'm seeing where she's going. And I'm going to introduce her with the end in mind. I'm going to introduce her to author and speaker, the amazing Rose Foster, because that is where she's going. Rose, good afternoon. It is so good to have you. I'm already nervous. I have my water. I'm going to get my tissue because
Oh my
Jesus, girl.
God.
Oh, Rose, welcome to the live. How are you? First of all,
I'm,
thank you for being here.
thank you, Ava. Thank you. I'm here. I'm here.
My tribe is here. Oh my God, I see Moy, I see Carol, I just see Sandra, I see all of them. I got tissue. My son just brought me some tissue because I know God I'm gonna need it.
You don't
Rose,
need tissues.
take me
Ava.
back. Rose, take it over. Let me just stop talking. I want you to tell people the first time we connected and why.
Whoa. Okay. The first time I reached out or connected with Ava, I had just left my marriage, which was a verbally, emotionally, psychologically abusive marriage, and I had hit rock bottom. I had just
Mm,
walked out of the matrimonial home. I had put my stuff in storage, and I had moved into a room, and I was living in a room when I first met Ava.
Mm.
And I mean, God sent Ava, and I just remember reaching out and just saying, I need help. I was rock bottom. I was messed up. My mind was messed up. My self-esteem had gone. I was in a dark place. Dark,
You
very dark.
can't do
No
it.
crying.
I remember the first conversation. I was under a tree. I was actually in a meeting. I don't even know how you found me. First of all, Rose, how did you find me? I've never. It's been
I,
what, 4 years. I've
I
never
don't
asked you that
I,
question.
I think you came
It
up
wasn't
on
important.
somebody's Facebook feed, and there was just something about you that I just thought, "Do you know what? Let's just reach out." It was just, it was, I was in a really, really bad place, like, and I just thought,
Mm.
I need help. I just thought, I hadn't spoken to my family. I had just walked out. I was in this room with a complete stranger. I didn't know how I coped. My finances were messed up. My mind was complete. I was in a fog. It was dark days, and I just reached out. I knew you were doing like coaching and things. So I just thought, well, I've never had a coach. Didn't even really know what coaching was, but I reached out, and
Mm.
yeah.
Wow. I remember the conversation it was as if it were yesterday. I was in a meeting in a building. I was in Colston, and I stepped out of the meeting to talk to you because we had an appointment. And I remember I was standing under a tree, and when you coughed, what did I say to you?
You said you're a smoker,
You're a smoker. And you said yes. And I said to you, we're going to change that.
and we have.
Did we change?
It was stress.
We
I was
have.
under so much stress. I was reaching out to anything to try and survive those dark years. So yeah. But you said that, and I
Ruth,
remember going, yeah,
talk me
go on.
through, talk me through the kind of work we've done, because I think sometimes people underestimate coaching.
Right.
Today I was in a conversation with somebody, and they're trying to negotiate my coaching prices, and that's okay. But sometimes we underestimate not just coaching, reaching outside of ourselves for external
Right.
help and paying
Hmm.
for it. Tell me about that. Tell me your view on that.
What
I can't do
on the
that. Sorry about that.
coaching
Tell
the
me your
coaching
views on that, and tell me what has it done for you personally.
um like I say, I've never had coaching.
You've gone low. Oh my goodness.
Can you
Can
not
you
hear
hear
me?
me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
No, guys, can you hear Rose? Because somebody rang me and it just went really low. Guys, tell me if you can hear Rose, because if you can't, I'm going to have to come back. But I hope you can. Rose, can you turn your volume up? No?
Yeah,
I
my
think it's because I
volume's up.
received the call. Can you hear her?
My volume's on maximum, Ava. My volume's on max.
Guys, can you hear
So
me? Can you hear Rose? Because I can't hear Rose much, but it's okay. But can you hear us? Because I don't want to break this connection. Let me know if you can hear us. Ah,
I can hear
awesome.
you
Awesome,
clearly.
Rose. Let's go ahead. Continue.
Okay. Okay, so when I reached out on the coaching journey and I was telling you where I'd been, what I was going through, how I felt, how low I felt, um, I remember doing this exercise with you. I really was trying to find my book because I wrote down the first coaching call. Sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah, sorry. And I just remember the experience of when you was talking to me, saying that this isn't it, this isn't the end, there's more to me, because at that time I actually thought, you know, that I had no future, that this was it, that it was.
We've lost Rose, and I don't know why. Are you there?
Can you can you hear me? Can you hear me, Ava?
I can, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And you did lots of exercises with me. You did. I remember one of the exercises that really stuck out to me. You did the exercise and you said, what do you want? What don't you want in your future partner? Or what don't you want? Or where are you? Like, you work through stuff like, my finances was in a mess. I had to sort this out, sort that. And you systematically went through all these things I needed to do. And I remember crying because I remember thinking, it's really, really hard. The things you're asking me to do, you need to get in contact with this person. You need to do that. You need to do this. And it was hard for me to hear some of the things because in a way, I just wanted to sit down and feel sorry for myself. But you didn't allow that. You didn't allow me to wallow. You held my hand through it. Like, each week, I wrote everything down. Right, Rose, you need to work on that. You need to work on that. And because I had you, it gave me the push to do things, to actually sort out a lot of stuff that I was burying. I was putting a lot of things under the carpet because I didn't want to deal with it. Because emotionally, on my own, I wouldn't have been able to do it. And that's why I say, if I hadn't met you at that time, I don't know where I'll be today, because just having the hand holding Ava coaching experience got me through really, really dark days. Really dark.
Mm. And Rose, thank you for that. I mean, nobody on this call except you and I know how dark the place was that you were in. It was really dark. As a matter of fact, there was a point, and I've never expressed this to you then, where I thought you would have probably done something serious, because it was dark. It was very dark.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of tears. And there were a lot of pulling factors. There was fear of your own life. You were fearful for your life. I remember there was that
Yes.
place. You were fearful to even be on Facebook per se. You had your account, but it wasn't something that you really used. And I remember one time when we were coaching, and I had to get you to start changing your language and the narrative.
Yeah.
And part of that was pushing you to see your ex as your ex-husband.
Yeah.
You want to talk me through that, because that was a big piece. I think that was when the penny started dropping and things started literally turning with you.
Yeah. I was on a call with you, and I kept saying things like, yeah, because my husband would this, and my husband would do that, and my husband would do that. And in no uncertain terms, you said, he is no longer your husband. I was like, wow. Like, I remember I was in my kitchen. I remember it so well. I was in my kitchen, and it hit home. I think Audrey was on that call. It hit home. And from that point to this, I've never called him my husband again. He's always my ex-husband, or the crazy one, or whatever other name, but I never ever called him my husband, because you allowed me to break that tie to call him my husband. As in, when I was calling him my husband, I felt an obligation to be a certain way, and I had to, oh, it's my husband, I've got to this. Once you said that to me, it really was the light bulb moment. He is no longer my husband. It no longer matters what he thinks or says. And once you put the ex in front of the husband, it was a life changer. It was a life changer.
Thank you for that, Rose. I remember the call, and I remember when I said it, I felt like I'd offended you, and you actually, and you kind of, and I was like, he's not your husband anymore. You have to start seeing that he's not yours, because I think and I understand it because I've been there. You still have this attachment because it was what you knew, and although it was very narcissistic, it was very abusive. It was all, and women go through this cycle where, and men, where we still hold on to it because society and our church and all of that, it's almost like we're dirty now, because how dare you be divorced? How dare you have children and you're not married? How dare you be in the church and that? And so I know that for you, it was a very difficult time. It was very hard for you to even marry that in your head, that although this man had been so abusive, although this man had done so much, you were broken and almost ready to die, but you were still holding. Rose, you held it. It's my husband. And I remember saying to you, until in your head, you see him as your ex-husband.
Yes.
You are not, you remember the Zoom call, Audrey? You were on, you were on one
She
of
was
those
on it.
calls, right?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Until you start disassociating yourself, unraveling the pieces, and
Yes,
understanding that for you to grow and move forward, you have to start seeing it for what it is.
yeah. I
And I
remember it.
believe that it's in that moment that the penny dropped for you and you started shifting. Now, Rose, we did a lot of stuff. I know that there was a lot of stuff, and we can talk about it now because your finances were in a mess.
Yeah.
Like all of us, I've been through that. So here's the thing, guys. I'm not sitting here doing the sanctimonious crap because I've had my finances in a mess. Okay, so you
Mhm.
guys get that straight. But it's not where we were. Is and not where we were. It's where we are going and where we are. So
Yeah.
that's important because 4 years ago, Rose, you could never sit here and talk about your finances on Facebook or anywhere. You were too embarrassed about
No.
it to talk about it.
Yeah, yeah. I was because it was a mess. It was a complete mess. I remember you like, right, you need to talk to the mortgage company, you need to do that, you need to get on top of your council tax. And it was just like every time it was something else, and I'm thinking, but I am in the biggest hole ever. And just facing those things, you say stuff like, did you do this, have you been an Experian, have you had your credit checked? And I think I wanted to hide away from how bad it was, and you like, right.
Rose, you did not want to talk to the mortgage company. You didn't. I'm like,
Yeah,
you had a mortgage. It was going in arrears. You were going to lose the house, but you didn't want to talk. And that is so typical of most of us, including myself. I've
yeah,
been there, right?
yeah,
Where I
yeah.
don't want to talk to the mortgage company. I don't want to talk to the debt collectors. I don't want to talk to any of
Yeah,
those people because I want to bury
yeah,
my head in the hole.
exactly.
But we've been able to work through that. Tell me, that's my, yeah, I can't, yeah, go on. Sorry.
Sorry, I missed that,
Go
Ava.
on.
You cut out. So what do you want me to tell you?
I said that once again, I'm on a call. Tell me about how we worked through that. I'm just a giveaway, right? Tell me how we worked through that.
What should be work through the finances, or just made me
Financially.
make phone calls?
Yes.
Well, you I remember you sending the link for Experian and all those credit things, and having to do the credit check. It's like, right, it costs this and do that. And so slowly I started to work through stuff. I rang the mortgage company. I sorted out this. I made arrangements. I started to face the truth
Mm.
slowly. I did it. I mean, I remember a conversation I had with you when I was renting this room. Let's just walk around that bed, like, just one room in someone's flat, renting a room. And I remember saying to you, I really want my own front door. Do you remember, Ava? I just said, I really want my own
No,
front
no,
door
no,
again.
no, 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 stop. You were going to go on holiday to Spain with your friend.
Yeah,
Was it Spain?
yeah,
Go
yeah,
on.
yeah.
Go on. Go on.
Right. So that's right, because that's right, because this was coming up to my 50th birthday. So I was going on holiday with my friends in Spain, and it was just coming up to my 50th birthday. And I just remember thinking, I really want my own front door, my own space. I want, and you said you can do it. You'll get that again. And that was the first time I started to believe that I would get it again. Because you said you'll have it. You'll have your own space. Because there was no regrets in a way from getting away, because obviously he was just mental. But when I saw myself living in a room at that age, like not having my own kitchen, not having my own stuff, it was like, wow, I had hit rock bottom. I really had.
Mm.
In my opinion, that wasn't the dream. That wasn't how it was meant to be. But you kept on telling me this is a season. You will have it again. You will be okay. You just need to sort out your stuff. You just need to. And I did. I really
And
did.
Rose, do you have your own front door now?
I have my own front door. I have my own front door. I have my own flat. I have my own things around me. Like, I literally sit here sometimes and just go,
You
oh
have
my
your whole,
God.
her life is complete. We're not going to go into the details of it, but her whole life
Oh,
is complete. Like, not just
yes.
the ex is gone and he needed to go on to make space and the way and clear the way. Her life is complete. And you know, Rose just did some stuff there that I want to unpack with you guys, because we've all been there where we are afraid to sort out the debts. We're afraid to get to the bottom of where we are. And Rose, there's no embarrassment in living in a room. I've been there. You've read my book. I lived in a room with my children.
Hmm. Yeah.
I've been to that rock bottom place where there was no space there. My next book is going to be so crazy. You guys just need to watch for that. But we all have bad times. And the reason that I wanted to do this interview was to share with somebody who's on this call or on the replay, who's in that place where it feels like it is never, ever going to change. It is never going to get better. And that where you are now is where you are permanently going to be. And you are a testament, because I talk about myself a lot, and the fact that I am a testament to that. But sometimes people want to hear something else. And I really want to say that, because Rose doesn't just live in her own flat. She's in a beautiful flat. She is happy. She can come on Facebook. 4 years ago, you could never get this girl to do this.
No way. No way. No way, Ava. You know that.
No,
Proud.
you wouldn't do it.
I would never have done this. No way. No way.
Tell me what are, I mean, I remember we did a life plan, and talk to me about the importance of a life plan, because when I coach and I say to my clients, you need to do a life plan, I have a life plan, and they're like, yeah, okay. And some people think it's not important. And tell us that if you can remember, and I hope you're still using it, but sometimes you get to the place where you don't need to use it anymore, but you should. What are some of the things that were under the life plan that we looked at and how we dissected them, and some of the things I told you needed to do, or we agreed that we needed to do?
Okay. Okay, there's one thing on my life plan which I never ever done, right? I was just, confession is good for the soul. I never went on the dating app. I never ever did that. Like, it was on there. It was like, get out there, get on the dating app, whatever. But I didn't do that. But like exercise, like eating well, finances, future planning, thinking about what I want in for my life, my job, my friends. There was lots of things in there. I think you kind of pushed me to do stuff, to not just sit and wallow. It was like doing, like, go out and do that, go out and do dancing, go out and meet people, go out and exercise, go out and, you know, just, I think what you encouraged was the expansion, like to actually realize there was more to me than what I was seeing. So yeah, so I joined the gym, I started exercising, do you know what I'm saying? Like, I was out with my friends and I went out for meals, and, you know, and I started eating better. And it was just, all of that just started to make my life go, actually, there's more to my life than just that man, do you know? And then I started, then I did the book journey with you. And I remember, like, that was all part of the healing, because I remember when we was on that journey, Valerie, remember?
No, hold on, that was hard. That was
hard, right?
We're in the middle of going to publish, and this girl's like, I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
I don't know. I don't think I can do it, right? But I think it wasn't so much. Now looking back, I do think that bit, oh no, I'm going public, people are going to know. But you know, the thing that's always stuck with me when we was going through the process, we was all writing, it used to say, vomit onto paper. And I remember madly typing like stuff. Oh yeah, I remember he did this. But it was so cathartic to get all this stuff out. Even like, I mean, even if I never used it, it was just getting it out. And that was valuable. That was so valuable. I really want to thank you for that. Really.
And I'm so honored to have been able to do that. I want to really expand on that statement, that writing is cathartic, and that sometimes when we're thinking of writing our books, we don't have to do a whole book by ourselves. Rose was in an anthology, one chapter she did in a book. But that night when she went up, Audrey and I spoke about it. There was something different about you. You were glowing, you were not afraid, you were bold, and you were owning your story. And it happened in one chapter in a book. And sometimes people don't understand the power of an anthology. So I really want people to get that. Like at the moment, I'm working on an anthology about single mothers, volume 2, because volume 1 is going to be published soon. And the ladies in the group are having such a great experience. Some of them are on this call because they realize that together we expand each other, together we heal each other.
Yeah.
And that's what that journey was. But then you also spoke about the catharticness, how cathartic and healing it was. And you made a very important point, which I try to tell people all the time. Sometimes when you write your story, it's not about publishing it immediately. It's
Right.
about breaking free, healing, right? And freeing yourself later on. So when we do the inner work, when you write, when you write your book, the first draft is it's you writing to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you start editing it, you're writing for others. And I say that to people all the time, that it doesn't mean that because you haven't got the money right now, you cannot write. Write, heal, and then later you come back. Because that's what you're doing now, Rose. You've healed.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. And you know what? Oh, thank you, Audrey. I mean, Audrey's just made a comment. I looked amazing that night. Now, what was really interesting, I love the book launch. The book launch, I just thought was like, it was a way of going, I'm doing this. I'm actually stepping out. I'm not, it was really a big, big thing for me, that book launch. But what was really interesting was the dress that I wore for the book launch was the dress I wore for my after party at my wedding. Yes. So just to have that dress on, when the last time that dress had literally come out was like, and it was just the right dress for the new me, the new season. And I just loved it.
Oh my God. I love that. Rose, there's so many aspects to the new you. Tell us about, in your own words, about where you are now, and I suppose where you plan to go. And I know that Audrey is not even going to stay on this forever, but I just really want to just honor Audrey on this, because Audrey was part of this journey, because she did the forgiveness piece with you, which I recommended, and I thought it was important because sometimes when we go through our stuff, and by the way, guys, Audrey and I are not just friends. She coached me through my own forgiveness stuff, because when I was done, I was so bitchy and I was so angry, and I can't believe I lost my house because of this man, and I was ready to break anybody I caught. But I had to do some work with Audrey. So for those of us who are harboring those forgiveness stuff and those stuff that are bothering you, I just want to say, not because she's my friend, I can recommend her, because she almost works with me every day now, because every time we talk, she's like, Eva, yeah, Eva, okay, you need to watch that. And she literally does that piece. But tell us about the forgiveness piece, Rose, because that was a big piece for you.
See, I think once with Audrey and yourself, once I realized that forgiveness was not about him, it was about
come
me.
on. Hold on, can somebody type that? Forgiveness is not about the other person, because we say it's so cliche all the time, and I don't think we really get it. Forgiveness is not about them.
Yeah, it really was. Because I was getting very hung up. He'd bought like a Mercedes convertible, and every time the sun came out, I was like, oh, I was driving around the convertible. And it used to make me angry. But then I just thought, you know what? It's not about him. He's living, he's doing his thing. I have to forgive so that something in my heart could open back up, because who I am as a person was changing because of the hatred and the anger and he done me wrong, I'm so angry. But once I kind of forgave him, I thought, because I think the fact of the matter is, when I was in that abusive relationship, and I obviously nobody should be in one, but it took me a while to actually go, actually the culprit here isn't me. It isn't me. Working with you kind of go, I did nothing wrong. I was just me.
I had to help you see that. I had to help you see that.
You had
like,
to.
Rose, no, it's not your fault. No, because you were owning some of that.
Yeah. Oh God, because I think in the back I kept thinking, well, maybe if I'd have did this, or maybe if I'd have tried, but it wasn't me. No matter what I would have done, he would have still been him. He's him. That's who he is. So once she gets the forgiveness and goes, you know what? Not only forgiving him, that was really big, but one of the things he helped me to work through. Hold on, having a moment. Ooh, one of the things that you helped me to work through was forgiving me, because I used to think, why didn't I get out? Why did, you know what I'm saying? There was lots of like, why didn't you? And didn't you see this? So I had to forgive me. I had to
Mm,
forgive me. And
mm,
I really appreciate you for helping me to get to that stage of going, you didn't, you didn't cause this. He
mm.
did it to you. Do you know? Like that was really a big part of the journey that I've had with you. Really a big part, because I had to forgive him, forgive me, take back my power from him. Thank you, Audra, and keep going, which I've done. You know, he has no power over me. He has no power over me now. You know, it's you know, this is a girl that used to walk, come out of her and look over her shoulder the whole time, like just a
I
bundle
remember,
of nerves
Rose, you
waiting for him.
didn't want to be on the bus. You were
Yeah,
afraid. And I was like, Rose, you can't live like that. And sometimes
yeah,
a lot of us leave abusive relationships. Myself and my abuse is a bit different. Mine was more financial, but it's abuse anyhow. And we are afraid to go. I remember you were afraid to go certain places.
yeah,
You were afraid
absolutely.
to go to Southern Heath or this place or
Yeah,
that place.
yeah,
And I was like,
yeah,
Rose, you
yeah,
can't live like this. That's
yeah,
a
yeah.
prison.
Yeah, it was. And I think because like the verbal abuse, you have this dialogue running, things they've said, I'll do this to you, I'll do that, blah blah. So I lived in fear that if he saw me,
Mm,
what would he do? Do you know what I'm saying?
I
So
know.
there were certain places I wouldn't go. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like I can't go there. What if I see him? What if I see him? But once I got to the point where it's like, if I see him, what's he gonna do? Do you know what I'm saying? I
The
had
worst that can
to,
happen.
yeah, you know, and that again was taking back my power from him, because he was restricting where I was going. Like, can't go there, can't be on that route in case, in case, in case. But he shut that, that was shutting down my life, because certain places were off limits. So,
Yes.
yeah, so taking that back was a really important
Mm.
stage, really
Rose,
important.
I'm just so happy, and I'm glad that I'm just like this moment. I can't even verbalize what it means because I know that when I coach from my heart. Like
Yes,
there are women who come to me, and I do it even now, and money is not even a conversation. I don't come on Facebook
yeah.
and share that because it's private,
Mm,
right? And
yeah.
because you're saying yeah, tell me why you're saying yeah.
No, I'll tell you why, because I'm listening to you and I'm thinking, yeah, I know, Ava, because the price that you coached me at was absolutely ridiculous, because it was just ridiculous. And I remember you saying, I just really feel that I have to work with you. Do you know what I'm saying? I remember like thinking, I can't afford your prices. And what you
Mm.
offered was like, yeah, of course, it took jiggling to do it, but it was worth doing. And I remember you just like, no, I just need to work with you. Like, you know, we'll agree this price, whatever. And I will always be grateful for that, Ava, because just, you know, that, that wasn't, to me, that wasn't about a financial thing. You did that for a completely other reason, other level, other
Yeah.
connection. And like at that time, then I did not realize that 4 years on, you know, I mean, you'd be so important in my life. And I say this to you all the time. Sorry, I said no tears to you. Look at me. I said, if I hadn't have been coached by you at that time, I really don't know where I'd be today,
Mm.
because you know, like I remember standing at the platform at East Croydon and rocking. And I remember saying, no, I can't do this because it's not fair to my family. And
Mm.
literally within days, I found you from that rocking experience on the East Croydon platform. So I know you were just meant to be. Sorry.
It's okay.
Sorry, carry on. Sorry.
It's okay. You know, Rose, when I spoke to you that day, and I can say it now because you just said it, and I've never said it, I heard a suicidal person that day. I heard somebody who was at the last ebb. And I remember saying to myself, I'm not going to let money stand in the way of me saving someone. And I do that every day.
And you do
I
it
still do.
well. You do it well. You do it well.
So here's what I
I
want you
just
to do
really
for me, Rose.
appreciate you. Yeah.
I love you. I love you. Rose, you know I love you. It's very rare, and I can say that very boldly here, that it's very rare that I coach anybody and I don't get on with them. I probably have had one incident of such, and it wasn't even coaching. It was something else, which you guys, you know about. But when I coach people, one of the things that I can know, I can pick up the phone and call them any day, because I do things from the heart. My stuff are heart centered.
Hmm.
Because when I was down and out and needed somebody, there were people there for me. So I'm always about giving back. As a matter of fact, one day, thank you, Audrey. Never be sorry for genuine emotion. No, you're right. One day, my dream, and I'm putting it out there to the universe. The universe, can you please hear me? One day, my dream. I've got the book on my desk. It's called the Power. It's part of the secret. One day, it's my hope that I can do it for free, meaning money doesn't come in. So all the
Mm.
women and men who I need to serve, who show up in my life, I can serve them without, and the ones who cannot pay me, I can serve them. It's my biggest desire. Um, it's a desire I have. I speak about it all the time. And those who know me well know that is something on my heart. Hence, I've just started the Mango Girls CIC project. But the universe is listening. Thank you, Linda. And Linda, thank you for being Rose's good friend or family. I know you have an important role in her life. But
She's
Rose,
my Spanish connection.
here's what
She's
I
my
want you
Spanish
to do for me.
connection.
Como te llamas? Me llamo Eva.
Yeah.
What I
Uh-huh.
want you to do for me, Rose, I want you to pass the baton on. I want you to, when somebody else that crosses your path, I want you to pour back into them. I want you to, it's a ripple effect, right? Paying it forward. I'm a big
Hmm.
believer in paying it forward. I keep paying it forward because somebody, Mrs. Taylor and Burchell Whiteman, paid it forward to me. And I'm really big on paying it forward. And yes, money is a dignified conversation. I need to pay my bills. I need to get on with life. So I do charge for my services.
Hmm.
But there's a core of what I do that's all about giving and paying it forward. And all I ask two things is to stand every day in your power. Don't
Hmm.
think that I'm there, so it's okay. Always be building yourself. Understand that the coaching that we need to do later on is coaching on how to write your book and get your business set up. Because, girl, let me prophesy into your life. You're going to speak. You're going to train. You're going to try. I want you to receive it. You're going to transform lives. I'm speaking word and life into you. You are going to speak. I told you this a long time ago. You're going to write a book that's going to transform the lives of many women all over the world. You're going to write a book that men are going to read and feel ashamed of. You are going to speak. I see you, girl, and I want you to, I release it onto you. I put it into you. I want you to take it, because let me
Oh.
tell you something. That pain you have gone through is not in vain. That pain was part of your valley experience. And the reason we connected wasn't accidentally. I needed to pour into you to raise you up so that now you can fly like the eagle you are. And let me tell you something, Rose. Let me tell you something right now. You need to now pick up that baton and you need to run with it, because there are women, there's a tribe, there's an audience that's waiting on you. And I'm getting old and I'm getting tired and I can't duplicate. So I need people like you to stand up and answer the call to your life purpose. You have that course. You need to do exactly what it says. You need to answer the call, Rose, because it's not going to be there all the time. That's all I ask of you. So I ask you to answer the call, and I want you to keep paying it forward and stand in your power. Build yourself every day. Don't let your guards down, and understand that gratitude is the highest vibration. Don't feel indebted to anyone. Anyone.
Yes,
Feel grateful, and then continue to build on those building blocks.
I will, Ava.
That's what I want to leave.
I, I will. I will. I I'm about, like I said, like at the end of the day, I will speak my truth to anybody and everybody. I have no
Yes.
shame. It wasn't my problem. It wasn't my fault. And if I can help one woman or man to actually get out of a situation and realize
Mm.
there's better out there. This is the happiest I've been in years. Years, Ava. This is the happiest I've been. And if it took those dark days to get here, that's what it took. But I'm not ashamed of my story. I'm not ashamed.
You shouldn't.
I'm
You
not.
shouldn't.
I'm
The
not.
dark days
I'm
are
not.
important because the foundation needed to be strong. But you needed to go through you see what you had to go under something to come out of something to teach and
Yeah.
train and share something. And what I want to say to women who are, and men who are stuck in domestic violence, who are stuck in their minds, who are stuck in their circumstances, who are stuck in a place where it seems impossible, I want to say to you right now that it is possible to come
Yes.
out. Find the resources, find the skills, find
Yeah.
the tools, whether it's a coach, and don't be afraid to pay for coaching. Don't be
Yes.
afraid to ask for help. If Rose had stayed there embarrassed and ashamed of
Mm.
asking for help, because let me tell you something, Rose is a legal secretary. She got a big time job in the city. So imagine this big time girl in the city of London in domestic violence. Most of us
Mm.
are hiding.
Yes.
There are
Yeah.
people on this call or on this live who are going to be there and they're hiding. Some of them are hiding because we
Mm.
don't want anybody to know. You know, many people say, Ava, you're meant to be smarter than that.
Yeah.
Domestic violence has no face, no intellectual capacity in terms of what you are. You could be PhD, you could be
Yeah.
fellowship, you could be, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's
Thing
true.
to you guys is I want you to share this with somebody who's going through DV or somebody who's going through something and think, I've got to hide. You don't need to hide. Help is there. Tap into resources around you because
Yeah.
you know it's really unfortunate that there are people. I saw something the other day, I talk about it a lot, where a 17-year-old girl literally, took the whole injection death, whatever you, what's it called, euthanasia. I can't read
Euthanasia.
and I can't speak properly, you guys. And I said to myself, didn't she know Rose? Didn't she know Nemo? Didn't she know Audra? Didn't
Mm.
anybody know us? So did anybody know Valerie? Anybody know
Mm.
Carl? Was there nobody like us to speak life into
Yeah.
her?
Yeah.
That's why it's so crucial, guys, that you write your stories, that you share your stories, because your book is gonna go places where your feet won't go. But that you share your story in even medium like this, because
Mm.
somebody might hear it and send it to somebody else who is
Yeah.
going through something, who needs a word.
Yeah. Yeah.
Rose, tell me how much your faith, because I know your faith, you're very strong in your faith, like I am. How much of your faith? I remember sometimes we used to pray on the calls. Remember, we used to
Mm-hmm.
pray. How much of your faith is in? How much of your faith? Because I can't do this without faith, y'all. Like, I'm sorry, I'm imperfect. Like, I'm so imperfect, but I can't do this without faith. So tell me how your faith played a role in all of this for you. And we're gonna wrap up in a minute.
Um, I have a very unique relationship with God, so very honest. Like, so
Yes.
even in my angry days, I didn't understand. I always knew that God was getting me through. I believe that this wasn't forever.
Mm-hmm.
Faith is something to hope for. So I always hoped for better. So it was always hoping for better. So no matter how my life might look in the eyes of others, I know my relationship with God was always strong. I always knew that God would get me through this. I would be built back up and I would remain strong. So I had, great pastors, great people praying for me, and just a complete knowing that God gives his hardest battles to his strongest soldiers. So the fact that I was in it, I knew that I'd get through it, because if God doesn't put more on me than I can bear. So even in my darkest time, I knew I'd come out the other end. So
When I
I
think
just
about
kept that
you,
belief.
sorry, when I think about you, there's a quote that I like. I don't even know who writes it, and it says, "You never know how strong you are until all you have left is to be strong."
That's right. That's
I
right.
think that's a quote you need to, I think that's your life quote. I think that's your life quote. Rose, I think that's your life quote. You never know how strong you are
Hmm.
until all you have is to be strong.
Yeah.
Rose, tell me what's next, because I sense
Ooh.
there's a lot going on in the background that I know that I can't talk about, obviously, and vice versa, you know that. But tell me, it's Bob Marley. Thank you so much, Nima. You know, I can always count on Nima. She's such a scholar, you know. Rose, tell me what's next on your agenda. Like, tell me what's next. I know you're just enjoying life now, just really being, you know, being grateful in the space you're in. But what's next for Rose?
You know, there's this there's this there's this pull, there's this, yes, I have to write the book, Ava, and we knew the time wasn't then, the time is now, so the book has to be written. But I'm trying to think of a way to be that person in someone's life that I needed when I was going through it. So, yeah, pass the baton, coaching, or whatever it is, because one thing I've learned in this journey is that there's a different empathy when you know how it feels. When you talk to a woman and you know how it feels. And I have friends who have been very, very supportive, but they don't know how it feels. Like they look at me and go, "But you, Rose, how did you get into that?" So I just have this thing. I have to give back to women. I have to be there for women. And I probably end up working with you again or just figuring out how to make myself accessible to women who, when they speak to people who don't know, there's something about when you're talking about especially emotional verbal abuse, there's something about the look on people's faces like they don't really understand. But when you've been there, you just feel for that woman. You go, yeah, I know. I mean, I have spoken to people and just finished their sentence, and then he did this, and then he said this. And they're like, how do you know? Because I've been there. So my experience has got to help some other woman to get out or just to realize it's not them. The problem that I have with the narcissist is because they work on your mind, and I'm not prepared for another woman to have her mind broken by a narcissist. So I am going to do something. I don't know yet, but I'm doing something. It's going to be good. It's going to be good, Ava.
Oh,
I'm not, look at me.
my
I'm
coaching
on a
room.
Facebook Live, Ava.
I know,
My
right?
goodness.
My coaching doors are always open. Always open. I try to coach people in a way and keep, I'm always and I say this with real love and heart. I'm just so glad. I see some of my clients on here, quite a few of them actually have jumped in and off. I'm so glad that I can always um, call on any of my ex-clients. I don't even call them ex-clients. People are part of the family to,
Mm.
I see Clara on here, and guys, if you don't know who Clara is, please check her out. You know, there's Audrey on here, there was Jennifer, there's quite a few of them. I give in, and I give, and I just give, knowing that I'm never ashamed to hide because Clara comes on here, or hide. No, 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 no. And that's the kind of coach I want everybody that I work with to become. And my coach did that to me. I'd gone to my coach at the time, one of my coaches, because I've had quite a few. I still have I found myself with 4 again, but for different things. Clara just mentioned my lip gloss. I have to talk about it quickly. I just used some Shakai. So this is my own stash. This is from my own line. So I have some Shakai cocoa butter. And when I say cocoa, I mean it's proper brown chocolate cocoa lip gloss right here. So she said she missed seeing me put on my lip gloss. And I always have a lip gloss on this is my own line, by the way, so it's not anybody else's. So this time around, when I put on lip gloss, I'm putting on my own. I have to just put that one there. But my coach, Shayla Boyd, who you met Shayla, she spoke at Purposeful.
Yes.
When I went to Shayla, I was broken. I wasn't just broken, I was broken financially because I was going through my really nasty divorce. But I was broken because another coach had robbed me $10,000.
Wow.
All right. So I made a pact that I know I'm even today, I'm still not perfect. I'm making mistakes, and I'll always make them. But I wanted to connect with my clients in a way that, like Shayla connected with me. I wanted to be able to pick up the phone and call you when you're on my heart. I wanted to be able to pour into you when you're not even paying me. That's the kind of coach I wanted to be. And I really want anybody who works with me to be that kind of coach. Because let me tell you something. I can't even say it right now, but I probably will. Do that. The universe answers you. On Monday, the press is coming to my house to take my own pictures. And I laugh. I was like, that's kind of like an Oprah moment when the press is coming to your house. They're coming to your yard to take pictures of you with makeup artists and everybody. Like, that's kind of weird and that's kind of cuckoo, right? But that's because of who I have shown up as in the world and the ripple I'm creating and the fact that I believe in paying it forward. And I want each of you to understand this. Everybody on this call and on the replay, and I want you to hashtag replay, is that when you give into the world 110%, and it feels like nothing is coming back, listen to me. I want you to listen to me. Continue to give 110. Because one day, you're going to give 10 and get 110 back. And I'm not saying that as a cliche. I'm saying that as a testimony. I'm saying that as somebody who has happened to. I'm saying that in grace and favor. And I'm saying that from so many spaces right now. That every day you get to live on this planet, try to show up authentically and with compassion. If you're a coach on here, and I know we have our prices because our prices are important. That's how we eat. But if somebody comes into your diary and you can seek, you can, if you are any kind of coach that is good, you can feel that that person, you are their lifeline. Don't let money stop. Yeah. Do not let money stop you. And if you cannot give them 3 months, because sometimes you can't do that. Like, seriously, come on, you got to pay the bill and get some lip gloss on your lips and your hair done. But if you can give them every now and then, work something out, call on you know how many people I have women who come into my diary and I can't give them a lot of my time, but I know Audrey can give an hour. I call on Audrey for free. You guys don't know how much forgiveness coaching that girl does with me for free. I've got clients from Germany, and I pay her. Sometimes I even pay for my clients, like literally who can't afford it. And I say, Audrey, I'm calling in a favor because this person needs it. So I want to wrap up by saying I'm just so humble. I never stop being humble. Somebody met me recently and said, she said, you're so grounded. How do you stay so humble? Because I know where I've come from. I'm so humbled, Rose, that you chose me. I want you to hear that you chose me to coach you. Because you chose me.
I did.
And when you showed up, I received you. I want to thank you for that. Because it reminds me that there is still goodness in us as human beings. And it reminds me that my own story was not in vain, that I can show up in another woman's life and we're creating a ripple. And this is what Sister Hold My Hand is all about. It is such a powerful piece. And for those of us who don't know, we're going to start again. I have 3 co-hosts that we're going to be starting again soon, because it's so powerful to have things like these shared with the world. So guys, if you tag and share and share it on your page and tag somebody in it, and keep it passing on, because Rose has said some stuff. But Rose, before we wrap up, and I need to do that now, give me leave somebody on here who, this is what I used to do, now you're gonna do. I'm passing the baton. Tell somebody on here who is stuck in any situation, whether it's your marriage, your life, your money, somebody who's stuck in a place and they're thinking that I can't get out. Talk to that person. And then talk to the person who doesn't want to pay for coaching. And then we're gonna wrap up. Over to you.
Anybody who's stuck, trust me, you can get unstuck. You just need to reach out. You need to reach out and admit it. Just admit, I am stuck and I need help. It's a big thing because we're trained to pretend we don't. But when you really realize your back's against the wall, you've got to reach out. You've got to reach out to friends or anybody. Just say, I need help. And help is out there. Help, always remember, help is out there. You just need to answer it. When it comes to paying for coaching, investing in yourself, in your life, is worth every penny. It's worth rebudgeting. Shoes, clothes, doesn't compare to spending the money on coaching, because if you get the right coach, Ava Brown, you get the right coach, your life is forever changed. So it is worth investing in yourself to heal your life and to be able to get on with your life.
Thank
But
you.
first you
I
have
want
to
to just quickly
admit it.
you. So Rose said you need to admit it. You don't need to hide your head in shame. There's no shame anymore. Like there's just some experience. Like I mean this, and I want you to hear me. I mean this genuinely. Mango Girl has got nothing on my next book. Nothing. I'm stripping all. I'm taking away the. I'm being metaphoric here. I'm taking away the bra, the underwear, the dress, the hair. I'm stripping naked. Yes. And showing you guys the ugly, the love handles, not physically, the stuff that, but I'm waiting for the right time. It's the right moment when I'm going to strip and show you guys some stuff that I have never shared publicly. That I know there's some few people in my corners who know this. And you guys are going to be thinking nothing, because I'm thinking that there's somebody else out there who needs to strip naked too and just bear it all and unburden and unmask. And it's not that I'm not ready, I'm not doing it, it's just not the right time yet. Timing is everything. My next book cannot come out until the movie comes out. So my next book is not coming out until 2021. I can't release it yet. So as a commercial decision, we can't release my next book till 2021. So you guys are going to have to wait. But I promise you it's worth the wait. Because by then, my next book at last is going to be written, okay? So let's move on. Let's just have some big pieces here. Quickly run through. Thank you, Nima, for commenting and really typing up for us. Thank you, Audrey, and everybody who's been on here. Thank you so much. Valerie said, and I want to leave you with this. Valerie says, Rose, I see you taking up the challenge. Share your skills. Nima says, your foundation must be strong. Clara says, Nima said, this is so important because the government is reducing funding on domestic violence facilities, and Black people have to step in and bridge the gap. You are so right. Yes. It was Bob Marley who said, being strong, you never know how strong you are until being strong is all you have. Clara says, you are amazing, Rose Foster. Live in hope, remain strong. God never puts more on us than we can bear. Amen, sister. Ava Brown, I've missed seeing you putting on your lip gloss. For all of us who want your bodies to be nice, and you gotta go to Chakai, CHAKAIW. I can't spell that. Somebody write chakai.co.uk for me. You all know me. You can spell my kids' names. CHAKAI.co.uk. Gotta put that in. Nima always loved my smile, and she is laughing with Clara. Nima, I just here's the thing. I love her skin. She loves my smile. We just need to exchange for a month or so. Thank you, Linda, for supporting Rose. I really like that. He bent you, Rose, but he didn't break you. Amen. Your experience has to help someone else. There you are, Clara, rooting for you, Rose. Ava Brown, you are my coach, and now you are my friend. Love you, Loads, babes. Clara, you know that. You know, girl, you know how that goes. You know how that one goes. Clara, you know, you're my sis. You know how that one goes. There you are. So, guys, I'm just so grateful and just thankful. You can follow the comments, and you can continue on this and follow the live later on. You know, you can share and rewatch. But the takeaway from me here is that it's not okay to suffer in silence. It's okay to invest in yourself. We have to pass it forward and pay it forward. And that because you're in the pit today doesn't mean that that's where you're going to be tomorrow. But you have to act, you have to take action, and you have to have a community around you. Because although I was Rose's coach, I was part of her community. No, she's part of my family. She's an Ava lifer. Did you guys understand that? It's the only lifer I have. She's my only lifer. I closed the lifer program for a while. And what that means, let me tell you, it's going to be open again probably end of this year. What it means is Rose has access. Not everybody gets into my life program. Every coaching program I have, she gets a special discount. Everything, every event, everything, even something that is not open to the public, she's one of the select persons that gets to come. Don't ask me why, she just is. Okay. So the Ava Lifer program is going to open again, probably the end of the year. We're working on it. But Rose is the only lifer we have. Like, she's a lifer. She's an Ava lifer.
Yes.
And she will tell you that she's a lifer. Okay. So Rose, I want to thank you for being here. I love you. I love having you. I'm just so grateful that I get to walk the planet with you. Because I can just see your light shining brightly. And don't let this conversation stop.
You.
I want you to go and build on this conversation. And for all of those who've been watching, thank you so much. Somebody's laughing about our lifer. Let me just see who that is. Ava Lifer. Yes, Clara, Ava Lifer. For those who've been watching, thank you so much for coming on. I know you have other things to do. I'm Dr. Ava Eagle Brown. I'm a life coach, and I want to talk about that right now very quickly. If there's anybody on here who's thinking about getting a coach, and you're wondering where to go, I'm not the only one, but I'm a really good one. I do it from my heart. I do it from my soul. I'm consistent. I'm there for you, even when we're done coaching. There are people on here who can tell you that you can always knock my door anytime. I have an open surgery to my people, full stop. And if you're thinking about starting and writing your book or getting unstuck or starting your business, I'd love to talk to you. If you have an event, you want a good speaker who you're prepared to pay, give me a call. Money is a dignified conversation, and I'm not afraid to have it. Don't sit there and think, I can't afford Ava. If Rose had thought that, she would never come. And some of you are thinking, I can't afford you. I can't afford you, Ava. But let's come on inside and have the conversation, and let's get you sorted. So guys, thank you so much for now, and have a great weekend. Rose, I thank you. I honor you. And I can't wait to see you shine in the world. Bye for now.
Thank you, Ava. Thank you. Bye. Bye.
Bye-bye.